What if the bottom of the ocean hides more secrets than the whole of human history? From sunken cities and mythical beings to sounds whose origin even science cannot explain. Today, we dive into a realm of absolute darkness. Real-life monsters that resemble the kraken, underwater jacuzzis of death, glowing seas that illuminate themselves, and ghost towns that vanished overnight. This is not science fiction. All of it lies on the floor of the world's oceans. Some creatures from myth remain only on the pages of legend, while others quite literally leap from those pages into reality. Meet the colossal squid. This is no ordinary seafood delicacy, but a gigantic, slippery entity from the ocean's deepest gloom. Picture a hybrid of an extraterrestrial horror and a marine monster, and you have something that actually exists. The first mention of this sea giant dates back to 1925, and since then, the myths of sea monsters have been taking on real shapes. Scientists rarely manage to see them. These silent giants inhabit the icy, hard-to-reach waters off Antarctica at depths of more than 2 kilometers. Not exactly a spot for a pleasant snorkeling tour. And now, something truly wild. From the beaks that have been found, yes, just like those of a nightmare seabird, researchers suppose that an adult squid may weigh up to 500 kilograms and reach 10 meters in length. That is longer than a school bus and heavier than a concert grand piano. One diver named Steve claimed that he had seen a 10-meter squid and prepared to battle a sea monster, only to discover that the beast was merely half that size. Yet, with its rotating, hook-laden arms, even a small specimen could ruin your day. Colossal squids are like the final boss of the seas, enormous, terrifying, almost mythical. The more we learn about them, the stronger the feeling that the ocean hides its darkest secrets. And if this is what we have already discovered, imagine what else might lurk in the depths. In 2019, in the very heart of the Pacific Ocean, a troubling incident occurred. A cargo ship needed urgent repairs and an experienced diver descended. At depth, he noticed a massive shadow moving slowly through the water column. The first reaction was, of course, fear. Moments later, everything became clear. It was merely a gigantic swarm of krill. But be honest, would you remain calm if you saw something like that down below? Write in the comments how you would react. You might think that a 9-meter great white shark is the queen of the ocean, yet even she can become someone's lunch. As part of a study, Australian scientists fitted a tracker to one such shark. Everything was going fine, until the tag disappeared. Several days later, it washed up on shore, as if nothing had happened. Then things grew more interesting. The tracker data showed first a sharp rise in temperature, far too high for ocean water, and then a descent to almost 600 meters. Such a temperature spike can mean only one thing. The tag ended up inside another shark, a larger one. After extensive analysis, the researchers came to a shocking conclusion. Their shark had been eaten by another great white around 16 meters long and weighing roughly 2 tons. That is, for a moment, a bus with teeth. Although great whites usually keep their distance from one another, there is one exception: dinner. And sometimes that dinner is one of their own. This case became one of the clearest proofs of cannibalism among sharks. A grim reminder that even apex predators can fall victim. In the ocean depths, it is eat or be eaten by your own kin. Somewhere in the depths off Japan's coast lies a mysterious underwater structure spoken of as a possible Atlantis of the East. Yonauni, the name has split the archaeological community into 2 camps. Some see it as the greatest find in underwater archaeology, others merely an unusual rock formation. Yet the mystery remains. Right-angled corners, flat surfaces, purported engravings resembling animals, all this suggests the ruins of an ancient civilization. Imagine someone building a giant Lego set right on the seabed. One leading specialist, Professor Masaki Kimura, is convinced these are remnants of a long-lost city. Some even link Yonaguni with the mythical continent of Mu, a drowned land often mentioned alongside Atlantis. If true, the structure could be about 10,000 years old. That is older than your grandmother's favorite cookbook. Of course, definitive conclusions are far off. More excavations, more evidence are needed. But while the enigma remains unsolved, the Yonauni Monument continues to attract adventurers, divers, and scientists from around the globe. Who knows? Perhaps we are on the brink of a great discovery or simply another wave of new questions. In any case, it is a real mystery hidden in the deep. In 1997, something strange was recorded in the vast Pacific Ocean. A deep, low-frequency sound with great amplitude, so powerful that hydrophones picked it up thousands of kilometers away. It was dubbed Bloop, and it has since become one of the most discussed acoustic phenomena of the ocean. At first, scientists decided that ice masses were scraping the ocean floor. Yet in 2022, NOAA specialist Christopher Fox proposed another hypothesis. What if the sound was made by a gigantic, unknown sea creature lurking in the dark? Time passed, and the mystery only grew. Later, NOAA again revised its version, now attributing it to so-called ice quakes, when huge masses of ice break and create strange sound waves. But here's the intrigue. Even today, no one can say for certain what caused the noise. An iceberg, a marine monster, an underwater cataclysm, all remain theories. And though evidence is scant, the bloop continues to stir the minds of both scientists and conspiracy enthusiasts. Welcome to the most sinister and surreal place underwater, the world of black smokers. These giant hydrothermal vents were discovered in 1976 off the Galapagos Islands. Imagine enormous underwater pipes spewing plumes of black smoke at nearly 3 kilometers depth. The landscape feels like a scene from science fiction where a planet is just forming. Some of these structures reach 60 meters in height. That is like a 20-story building, but on the ocean floor. When superheated water from Earth's crust meets the icy ocean, this menacing smoke is formed. Temperatures? Up to 400 degrees Celsius, enough to sear a steak instantly. Yet despite the extreme conditions, life here not merely exists, it flourishes. Giant worms, shrimp, and mollusks live near the vents, feeding on bacteria that process minerals from the hot plumes. These spots have become true oases in lifeless depths. In 2015, not far from Athens, during a routine search for ancient pottery, archaeologists stumbled upon something far grander: the remains of an entire sunken city. And not just a settlement, but a fortified Bronze Age metropolis. The ruins spread over 12 acres, larger than many modern neighborhoods. Most striking was one of the most advanced defensive systems found in ancient Greece. Guard towers, massive walls, all pointed to a high level of organization and, perhaps, frequent threats. Then, suddenly, everything vanished. The city seemed to dissolve in time. What happened? Was it attacked? Did nature take its toll? For now, that remains a mystery. Yet, the discovery is already considered one of the most impressive archaeological sensations of recent years. Further proof that we have yet to grasp the true scale of the past. Sailors' tales abound with mysteries, singing sirens, strange lights, ghost ships. Yet one of these stories turned out not to be fiction, but a scientific phenomenon. enter the mysterious occurrence known as the Milky Sea Effect. Imagine sailing on a dark ocean when vast stretches of water begin to glow with a soft, white-blue light. The sea appears covered with a luminous veil. It seems as though the ocean itself has become a glowing canvas. And this is no fantasy, but reality. The cause is bioluminescent bacteria capable of emitting light. They form entire colonies, and when conditions align, they begin to shine simultaneously, turning the sea into a genuine light show. Thanks to modern satellite technology, we have finally confirmed that the effect truly exists. Yet what still eludes us is what exactly triggers this mass flash. What switch prompts billions of bacteria to turn on their inner lanterns? There is no answer yet. It may be linked to chemical changes in the water, to temperature or pressure. There are many theories. But one thing is certain: the Milky Sea Effect is further proof that the ocean holds truly magical secrets, and we are only beginning to unravel them. In 2011, during an underwater expedition in the Baltic Sea, a team of divers encountered something strange. A rounded object with a flat top that resembled a Star Wars ship, straight out of the Millennium Falcon. The internet soon filled with theories of extraterrestrial origin. Geologists, however, quickly cooled such fantasies. They pointed out that nature is perfectly capable of creating such shapes. The world is full of rock formations that look like alien artifacts. And given the low-detail sonar imaging, determining the object's true nature is difficult. Yet the enigma persists, and it raises an important question. How little do we know about our own oceans? We have explored the moon's surface far better than the depths of our seas. If one strange object provokes such debate, imagine what else may lie beneath: cities, creatures, ships of the past. At about 1,000 meters depth in the Gulf of Mexico lurks a sinister mystery, the underwater lake known as the Jacuzzi of Despair. Despite its inviting name, this place is more a death sentence than a resort. Here, everything is reversed. Water does not save, it kills. Temperatures in this jacuzzi range from 8 to 19 degrees, fairly warm by ocean standards. But the issue is not the degrees. The water's composition, with high salt, methane, and hydrogen sulfide, turns it into a lethal trap. Any fish entering is doomed. The toxin concentration kills instantly. This mini lake is only 10 meters wide, yet its impact is grand. For marine life, it is a death zone. For scientists, a source of unique knowledge. Studying such an extreme environment may yield clues to whether life could exist on other planets. If organisms can survive here, then perhaps they can survive in harsher worlds. Thus, this jacuzzi is not merely a marine curiosity, but a window into other realms. In the early 2000s, off the coast of the Indian state of Gujarat, mysterious underwater ruins were discovered. Fragments of structures and artifacts quickly attracted archaeologists worldwide. Some immediately claimed these were remains of an ancient civilization, but as usual, matters are not so simple. The problem is that instead of careful excavation, a dredging method was used, an abrasive technique that scoops up masses of seabed. This cast doubt on the contextual credibility of the finds. Without an exact location for artifacts, it is hard to grasp their significance. Now, the sensational part. Carbon analysis indicated that some objects may be up to 9,500 years old. That potentially makes them the oldest ruins on Earth. Yet not everyone trusts these numbers. Debates about the accuracy of the dating continue to this day. Some call it the greatest discovery, others an error or even speculation. In 1999, something unusual sounded through the ocean. America's NOAA recorded a mysterious noise lasting roughly 15 seconds. They dubbed it Julia, and in those few seconds it captured the attention of both scientists and conspiracy lovers. There are many theories. The most common: an iceberg collided with the continental shelf off Antarctica. That seems logical. Ice, a crash, vibrations. The snag is that nobody could confirm it. The theory remains an educated guess. Yet Julia stands out not only for its odd nature, but also for its volume. This was no faint splash, but a genuine acoustic shout spreading hundreds of kilometers. Some even suggested it might have been a huge underwater monster unknown to science. Rumors further fanned the flames. NASA satellite images supposedly captured a giant silhouette in Antarctic waters at the very moment Julia sounded, straight from a science fiction film. Sadly, no confirmed images ever surfaced. Thus, the sound remains a mystery, another unanswered whisper of the abyss. In Earth's icy corners, there are phenomena so slow and ominous that only the bravest witness them. One bears the fearsome name Brinle, or Icicle of Death, and it is well deserved. Everything starts when saline water drains from sea ice and sinks. Colder than its surroundings and laden with salt, it forms a freezing stream, like an icy hose descending to the sea floor. This finger-shaped flow freezes everything it touches. Any marine creature that fails to swim away instantly becomes a frozen statue. This is no metaphor. Cameras have actually captured sea stars and other organisms freezing solid in the Brincle's icy grip, as though nature itself decided to play the Cold Reaper. Such a phenomenon is difficult to observe in reality, too remote, too cold. Yet, thanks to underwater cameras and new technologies, we can at least glimpse this eerie and majestic dance of nature. The Brinle reminds us that the deep sea obeys its own laws. Beauty and death walk hand in hand there. Sea monsters are not merely inventions of ancient legend. Among all the krakens and leviathans, there was one true king of the ocean, the Megalodon. Even its teeth inspire awe. Up to 7 centimeters long, they are the only physical proof of this gigantic shark's existence. It is believed that a Megalodon grew to 18 meters in length and weighed up to 60 tons. That is like several buses fused together. No complete skeleton has been found. Its bones were cartilaginous and do not preserve like those of dinosaurs. Yet from scattered finds, scientists have reconstructed its likely appearance, a genuine predator of the depths. Most specialists are sure megalodons died out millions of years ago. Yet some remain convinced they might still lurk somewhere out there in the darkest, unexplored corners of the ocean. Programs like Shark Week only stoke the interest. Though there is no evidence, the ocean truly is full of surprises. Who would have thought the coelacanth, or the megamouth shark, once presumed extinct, would again meet human eyes? So until we have clear answers, the Megalodon lives on, in fears, legends, and perhaps in the deepest abyss. Submarine service is not for the faint-hearted. Steel capsules immersed in the depths where the slightest error can cost lives, and 1968 became the most tragic year in submarine history since the Second World War. Within a single year, 4 submarines from different nations vanished without trace. The American USS Scorpion, the Israeli INS Dakar, the French Minerve, and the Soviet K-129. The total dead, 318 souls. Most chilling is that these disasters occurred in different parts of the ocean within a short span. Searches were conducted with maximum effort, yet despite technology and resources, no definitive answers emerged. Why did these submarines disappear? Equipment failure? Accident? Or an external hand? Some theories even posit other nations' involvement, but documents are classified and details hidden under top secret. The disappearance of these submarines remains one of the ocean's darkest mysteries. Each year, scientists and historians hope, perhaps today, a new clue will surface. In May 2019, a NOAA research team was testing underwater drones in the Gulf of Mexico. All went according to plan until something unexpected appeared on the sonar screen. It was no school of fish, no reef. It was a sunken ship, unknown to anyone. A genuine sensation for the scientific group. They immediately contacted archaeologists worldwide. The investigation was streamed live so everyone could peer into the mystery of the past with them. Only one mark was visible on the ship's hull. The number 21109. Nothing more. No name, no documented history. After studying the structure, scientists concluded that the vessel was likely built roughly 200 years ago, perhaps around 1850. Charred planks inside suggested it may have burned before sinking. Why did it go down? What happened to it? Answers remain elusive. Yet amazingly, this ship is far from alone. The Gulf of Mexico harbors many such wrecks, each with its own story. Using drones and new technology, researchers continued to film and document every corner of the vessel, assembling yet another piece of the great maritime puzzle. Let us raise the intrigue. Now we head to Israel's coast, where beneath the Mediterranean lies Atlit Yam, a submerged Neolithic village between 8,000 and 9,000 years old. Once life bustled here, residents fished, built homes, lived everyday concerns. Then something catastrophic occurred. Scientists believe a volcanic eruption triggered a giant tsunami that overwhelmed coastal settlements. Atlit Yam vanished underwater in a single night. Today, it is an underwater ghost world. Bones lie where ancient streets once were. Burials silently recount stories of bygone generations. For more than 25 years, scientists have excavated this site, finding not mere artifacts, but evidence of daily life. Fish neatly piled in heaps, tools, dwellings, all seemingly frozen in one moment. The remarkable preservation of this city astonishes. It is as if carved from time and hidden beneath the waves. When it seems the ocean has revealed all its strangeness, it plays another trump card, a fish with a transparent head. Yes, this is no fantasy. Meet Macropinna microstoma, more commonly called the barrel eye, a creature that appears to have swum straight out of an alien cartoon. This fish was first described in 1939, yet an actual photograph was only obtained in 2004 thanks to researchers at the Monterey Bay Institute. And when they first saw its transparent, dome-shaped skull, they could not believe their eyes. Inside its head, you can observe two bright green tubular eyes. They move within the skull and can rotate. Normally, they point upward to spot prey overhead, but during hunting, they pivot forward like tiny periscopes. The barrel eye lives at depths of about 600 to 800 meters, where near total darkness reigns. Its eyes are designed to capture the faintest glimmer of light. And although it looks like a horror movie alien, this fish is a unique masterpiece of evolution, proof of how wondrous and unusual nature can be. Ah, the Bermuda Triangle. That stretch between Puerto Rico, Miami, and Bermuda has long been enwreathed in legend. Missing ships, vanishing airplanes, empty vessels with no signs of struggle, all have become part of cultural myth. But let us examine the facts. This is one of the busiest maritime routes on Earth, and the overwhelming majority of vessels and liners pass through without the slightest incident. Nevertheless, oddities do occur. Remember the tale of the ship Ellen Austin. It came upon a drifting vessel devoid of crew. The Ellen Austin sent aboard some of its own sailors and they disappeared. Or the disappearance of the naval ship USS Cyclops with 300 sailors aboard, simply vanished without a trace. Such events feed the mystique. Yet the truth is that most disappearances can be explained by storms, currents, mechanical failures. Still, the thought of a mystery is alluring. The Bermuda Triangle may not be supernatural, but it certainly knows how to play with our imagination. We dive into a world where everything grows long, slippery, and eerily mysterious. Meet Leptophilis Gigantea, a rare eel species wrapped in a cloak of the unknown. The name sounds like a spell from a wizard's grimoire, yet behind it lurks one of the ocean's most enigmatic denizens. First described by Anton Brunn in 1930 and later by Peter Castle in 1959, this eel has been seen only twice, and both times in larval form. What is astounding, one recorded specimen already measured nearly 2 meters, and that was merely the larva. Considering that most eel larvae represent only 1/32 of the adult size, one might suppose an adult Leptocephalus could be the length of a train, or of a sea monster unfortunate never to have starred in a Hollywood blockbuster. Of course, skeptics are vigilant. Some scientists suspect we have simply misclassified the creature and that it never grows to such gigantic proportions. Yet the fact remains, we have seen it only twice. It is something rare, unknown, and perhaps frightening. Until someone comes face to face with an adult specimen or accidentally films it, Leptophilis Gigantea remains an underwater enigma, another secret hidden in the ocean's darkest depths. The ocean conceals so much astonishing, from ancient civilizations to transparent fish with periscope eyes, and everything we have seen so far is but a tiny part. Water truly is the most haunting element. Thank you very much for watching to the end. If you would like to support me and my channel, please write your opinion in the comments, everything you think. And right now, watch our 2 previous episodes that have already appeared on your screen. Thank you for watching and subscribe to the Top Facts channel.